folks, this is Krishnendu. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the equipment that I've been given. If you saw my video about 4 or 5 days back, it was about when I took the public transit to go to Central Philadelphia and get some equipment to practice upon. It's the equipment given by Asya Photography. She's a great wedding photographer who does incredible work. Just go and follow her on Instagram and see what she does. She's fantastic. Okay, now she gave me this Sony Alpha 7S. We all know that the S is for sensitivity. It's great for low light photography and videography. This is what I got from her. And three lenses actually. The 24 f1.5 from Rokinon, and also from Rokinon the 85 f1.5. This is the 85, this is the 24, both f1.5. Now when I was looking at her samples of work of videography, I realized is that shooting a video at a long focal length is extremely difficult if you don't have some kind of aid, you know. This one becomes a challenge. This is the 70-200 f2.8 from Canon. It's a beast. It's got image stabilization, but to put it onto the Sony, I need a Metabones adapter, which I've put on here, as you can see. This is the Metabones adapter. And on this, I decided to take on the challenge and not use these two because, well, I can handle it, but this becomes the biggest challenge, and that is what I decided to do. And finally, I put on the 70-200 f2.8 onto the Metabones and decided to shoot. That is when I realized that this currently is shooting on 2470. It's shooting on at the 35 range approximately, and it's on a tripod. It's pretty stable and everything, but when I handheld, I'm mostly doing vlogging with it 24mm, so 24mm is fine, but once it starts to get 70, I'm still doing it handheld. But when you're on 200, wow, that becomes a challenge. You know, just to give an example, this is a 24, this is a 35 watt, and this is what it becomes. So for shoots like that, most important tip is you need some kind of support. So what I did was, she also gave me a monopod, a Benro monopod. That completely changes the equation. It's not that it becomes extremely easy, but it becomes manageable. And voila, you got something extremely solid here. Let me show you. I'll remove the table. Most important thing is to decide and know and understand what you're going to do, what you're going to shoot. You just can't shoot like that and suddenly decide, oh, that's not the right shot, and you start moving. No. You see, because when you finally come to the edit, it's going to be a challenge because you don't have a certain number of seconds from your shoot for your edit. So you need solid footage for multiple seconds which has a definite direction. So tip number 1, you need to plan what you want to shoot. Then you need to plan how you need to move it. See, first thing what I did was I switched off the IS, because when I realized that I switched on the camera and I got the IS on, all that it does, you switch off, of course, manual autofocus, because with the Metabones it's not great. So you switch off manual focus, and with the IS on, the stabilization on, all it does is make a lot of noise. Maybe you can hear it. So all it does is make a lot of noise. And then I start practicing on holding it steady and get my movements right. It's not a cakewalk. It needs a lot of practice. Let's go over it once again. Tip number 1, you decide what to shoot. Tip number 2, you decide how you want to shoot it and follow the direction. Tip number 3, you need to practice a lot of what you want to do. Without practice, you're not going to get anywhere, especially if you're shooting video and shooting with a long lens. Let me show you a few samples of what I've been shooting lately. Okay, let's go over it one more time. Number 1, plan your shot. Whether you want it at this level, lower level, higher level, plan your shot. Then once you start shooting, plan your movement. If you're going to stay still, or you're going to pan up, tilt up, or you're going to pan like that, whatever movement you plan it and follow it through. It's not that, okay, halfway through you come and you start moving up. No, maybe it works for you, but plan it. At the same time, you cannot plan everything. You know, most of the time when you're doing an impromptu shoot or if it is candid, you have to follow what's going on. You cannot just always plan. You have to keep moving. Most importantly, if you're holding such a heavy lens, it's at 200, you need some kind of a support. So use a monopod. If you can, try and support yourself. Maybe sit down, lean against a wall, find some kind of a support, and then start shooting. These are the challenges that I have been facing so far while training myself for the shoots that I have to do now. Also, as I was saying, of course, you cannot plan everything because, you know, it's very organic. So things keep moving, things change. You cannot always plan. So stay open, but stay focused on what you're doing and be very, very acquainted with your gear, what you're using, which is why I got this gear. I've been practicing for the past 5 days. Now, I took up the biggest challenge with the 200 because it is heavy, it's not easy, and when you're actually focusing there, you need to stay there and you just can't shake, you know. And it's not easy to get footage like that, but it's a lot of fun. Folks, so if you're up to the game, you're up to the challenge, go ahead and try something. Follow me on Twitter, give me a shout out, show me what you have done. Let's interact, let's see what we are doing, let's share. And if you like this video, go and click on the like button, do leave a comment in the comment section down below, subscribe, click on the bell notifications, and see you in the next one. Cheers, folks.